Want to move better, feel stronger, and decrease your risk of surgery? Core strength is the key to longevity. Let's talk about why planks and side planks will change your life. Your core isn't just about a six-pack, it's the foundation of your body. A weak core is linked to increased risk of joint pain, poor posture, and even surgery. Come with me as we dive into the science. First, let's define what is the core. The core is a series of muscles that wrap around our body to create a cylinder. It starts with the deepest muscle, which is the transverse abdominis, and then it layers out from there. The key is that the deepest layer actually attaches to the spine, which is what gives us stability for posture, as well as what you'll learn later for how it helps with our extremities, which are our legs and our arms. Next is going to come the muscles on the side of our bodies, which are our obliques. We have internal and external. Then we're going to have the muscle on the front of our core, which is that rectus abdominis, the one we think about when we think about a six-pack. So now that we know that the core is actually a cylinder that wraps all the way around us, let's dive into what do we do and how do we use that in everyday life. So prior to reaching, so let's say I'm going to reach overhead to get something from a shelf. I'm going to use the muscle in the back of my arm, my triceps, to do that reaching motion. In a healthy core and in a healthy spine, prior to the tricep firing, you actually use that deepest core muscle, your transverse abdominis, to hold on to the spine as you reach. Your brain doesn't even think about this happening. This is just a normative movement that happens. Now, if we have poor training, have back pain, if we have any sort of injury that happens, we know that this muscle stops firing like it's supposed to. So as we train and we do exercises just to keep our bodies healthy, we always want to make sure that we're using those deep core muscles, because these are the ones that are going to help us when we're doing reaching, bending and lifting, transferring in and out of bed. This group of muscles holds onto the spine. That's how it helps to prevent breakdown for arthritic changes, degenerative changes in the spine, and ultimately what can lead to surgery. Now, if we know that that core fires just with everyday movement, like reaching overhead to get a plate, now we can think about sports performance. Like, what if I want to be able to throw a ball further? Or if I want to run faster, jump further? Anything like that, the stronger the core, the stronger the foundation is for the extremity to be able to push off of that. So if I wanted to be able to jump really far, but I have a weak core, then I'm going to be nice and sloppy with that movement. I'm going to waste a lot of the power and energy that I'm getting out of my legs on trying to stabilize my upper body. When really, if I was strong there, the power from my legs is actually going to push me to where I want to go, which is a long jump. The same goes for throwing. Any sport, honestly, is only going to be improved by a strong core. So if we know that the strong core helps to prevent breakdown, it helps improve our everyday movement, and it helps to improve sports performance, then what happens when the core is weak? And so that's where we dive into some of the research and see, does it actually lead to breakdown? And the research shows it does. So when the core is weak, the muscles that don't actually stabilize the spine start trying to do more than they're able to do. And then we get more strain across the joints of the spine, which are our facet joints, and we're going to get more strain through the discs themselves, which leads to injury and then potentially surgery. The other thing that it leads to is instability, which means I'm going to be more likely to have postural related problems, balance related problems, and all of these movements that make life a lot more difficult than it needs to be. So if I want to start training, what kind of exercises would I do? Because not all core exercise is created equal. My favorite core exercises are going to be planks and side planks, because in these types of exercises, you're going to be using all of the core muscles instead of isolating one and then the other. Because you're having to maintain one position in a nice stable position, if you do them properly, you're able to actually control all of the layers of muscles in the exercise. So that's the really, really cool part. And the cool thing too is that there's a lot of variations that you can do with this type of training. So you can be somebody that's starting with a very, very low level, easy plank or side plank, or you could be somebody that's much more advanced and is doing crazy variations to keep it nice and fun so that you're constantly growing. So to recap, The core actually wraps all the way around our body and is the cylinder that holds us together. We use it with every single motion that we do, whether we're sitting still or we're reaching overhead, we're always using the core. The stronger the core, the better the output of the extremity movement, throwing, jumping, running. And we know that the strong core is going to keep our joints healthy, which is going to help us age better, have improved balance, improved ability to do everything we want to do as we go higher in those years. Now, if you're interested in learning how to do really good planks, check out the last video that we posted. Make sure to like and subscribe because the next video that's coming out is all about side planks. See you in the next one.